Hello, hello, guys. It's Dave, and this is Everyday Rants. And I want to apologize. I know I had no rants put up last week. Just got really backed up with work and just regular life. Just got ahead of me and couldn't really get any podcast done. So here we are. This might be, I want to apologize in advance. This might be a long one because I have a lot of stuff I've been writing notes down and everything I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the Royal Rumble last night, the WWE Royal Rumble, and I also wanted to talk about the conference championship games for the NFL playoffs that were yesterday as well, along with some other stuff. So I guess let's get into it. So first off, most of you that know, and if you don't know, I'm in the New York area. I'm on Long Island, and we got slammed on Saturday with the blizzard of 2016. I mean, absolutely slammed. I think we got like over 2 feet, I think. I think it was like over 2 feet or almost 2 feet or something like that. A lot of snow. I'm not a huge fan of the snow. I particularly don't like it. I don't like driving it. When I was a kid, I liked it. But when you get older, you still have to you have to shovel, or you have to drive in it, or it just slows down your everyday life. I'm not a fan of it. The kids like it, but I'm not a fan. But this time I got to be honest. It started snowing late Friday night, and it snowed pretty much all Saturday. And then Sunday it was fine. Sunday was the day to dig out, get the cars out and stuff like that. We do live in a co-op complex, so luckily, they plow our parking lot. They shovel and plow our walkways, so I don't have to do any of that, thankfully. But yes, I went out. It took me like 20 minutes. I dug, both our cars out. I've lived in my complex here for almost 8.5 years, and I've learned the hard way how to manage it here. So I'm the dick that I'll go now, and I will dig one little path to the front door, driver's side. I will also dig just enough snow out of the way of the two front tires, just to make sure I'm seeing the cement. And then what I do is I look around, and whatever other, because I go out about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do it on purpose because I wait, and then I go out and I see what spots around me someone already cleared up and took their car out and went out to do whatever they had to do. Those spots are all nice, clean, and the sun has been hitting on them for so long that now it's all cement, and it's a nice spot. So what I do is I eye the spots I want. I really quickly do what I got to do. I get the cement under the two front tires showing. I get a path to the driveway. I don't even clear the car off yet. I put the car on, put it in drive. I drive right out into the middle of my parking lot, and since there's not a lot of cars coming and going, I can do that. Then I get out of the car, I clean it off real quick, clean everything off the car, so it's kind of in the middle, because I know they're going to come back with the plow anyway, so let them take it, and then I just pull into those empty spots. Whatever. Some people might think I'm a dick. I know there was one couple out there, and I don't think they were too happy with what I was doing, but guess what? You've been here a year. I've been here 8.5. I've learned the hard way of what people do around here. I only do that because I learned 3-4 years in, after sitting there for an hour, get my spot, shoveling the entire spot, then pulling the car out, and then shoveling the whole. I realized, and I saw what people were doing. So I was like, you know what, I'll just do that. Let the newbies shovel and think they got to do it the right way, and I'll just take your spot when you leave. Oh well. It's a veteran move, baby. That's a veteran move. So if you live in a complex, whether it's a condo, a co-op, an apartment building, just do that. You hang out, you wait till about 12, 1 o'clock. You let those early bird guys that have to get out, they have to go to the store, they got to get some more milk and eggs or whatever. Let them get out, let them do all the shoveling, let them take the car, let the sun beat down a little bit on that nice cement, warm it up, melt the ice, get out there, make yourself a little path. And mind you, you could do this. I did it with my wife's car, which is a CRV, and I did it with my car, which is a Camry. So you could do it with a sedan also. Just make sure the cement's showing under your front tires, so you get that traction, and then you could just go. And mind you, I backed into the spots, so you don't have to back up. You don't want to back up. You want to back into the spot, so you're ready to just go straight. That's it. That was it. But otherwise, in the snow, it was fun. I took the kids out in the middle of the blizzard. We played in the front a little bit, and then Ashley had enough. She went in. the wife took her in. So then Lauren and I, hung out a little bit more, played, and then it started to slow down. So I was like, we live across the street from the high school. So I was like, hey, let's go to the high school. Let's go check out the bleachers. So we walked all the way to the high school through the snow, got to the bleacher area where the football field is, and the bleachers, not the bleachers themselves, but the stairs where you walk to go up to the bleachers, which are cement stairs, were completely covered in snow. So it was like an awesome ramp. So we climbed on one side of the stairs all the way to the top, got on our sleds, and slid all the way down. It was awesome. We did that for about a half hour, and then it started to pick up again, like in the afternoon time around 3. It started to pick up again. The winds got very strong. Snow started coming down again, so we called it. We headed back, got in, and thankfully, knock on wood. You hear me knocking? You hear me knocking on the wood? Knocking on the wood. This weekend was pleasant with the kids. I mean, I don't know what happened. Maybe they just loved it because of the snow or whatever, but I mean, it was minimal arguing between them, minimum arguing of us with them. It was actually a pleasant weekend where I wasn't rushing the weekend, where I wasn't like, oh, come on, Monday. It was a pleasant weekend. Had fun. We all had fun. We, watched movies, played games, did all the stuff you do when the snow comes down. So it was actually a moment in time that was really, these are the times I like that make you go, wow, it's, I love being a father, having kids and stuff. This is awesome. It's the days where, like, you want to strangle somebody is where you start to, like, just go nuts and bonkers. But this weekend, believe it or not, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to be a nightmare because they're a nightmare on a regular day when we can get out of the house. They were an absolute pleasure. And I don't know if it was a mix between, like, because I'm not so big on the tablets and stuff. I'll let them use it for a little bit, but then I take it away. Because I want them to use their imagination. I want them to interact with, each other and interact with us and, just interact instead of just staring blindly at a stupid screen. But on Saturday especially, I was kind of mixing that in and out. I let Lauren have the tablet for maybe an hour, let Ashley have it for an hour, and then I would take it for 3 or 4. But in that 3 or 4, I made sure we were doing stuff like going out and playing in the snow, playing games. Then I would give it back for them for a little bit, let them have it for an hour. So that gives my wife and I time to do whatever we're doing, straightening up or she was cooking or, just doing stuff that we can now take our mind. They could have an hour. Then I would take it away again for a few more hours. And that would be when we would eat dinner or watch a movie or something like that. So I feel like integrating it a little bit and using it to your advantage when you need it is okay, but not all day. I'm not going to let them sit on a tablet all day. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But that was the Blizzard. The Blizzard was fun. I did a little vlog video. I don't know. We were going out, and my wife got like this from her work. Somebody at her job got her like this selfie kit set. And I would never go out and buy a selfie stick myself, but it came with a selfie stick. All the stuff you get like at weddings, all the stupid goofy faces and everything. And I saw this stick, and I know a lot of people that do vlog and everything use this stick, and I was kind of against it. But, it does help. I don't have to hold it, and I have more leverage with it. So I was like, what? I grabbed the stick. I'm like, I'm going to take this out with my phone. I'm going to videotape us in the middle of the blizzard. So that's up on our YouTube channel, which, by the way, I want to thank all our fans that are subscribers to our channel and have supported us. I want to thank you guys. We just broke the 1,000 subscriber milestone this weekend. And I know some people, might go 1,000. That's not that many. To me, that's a lot. Because when my daughter and I and my cousin Anthony started this back in March of 2015, I honestly had no clue what we were doing. I really had no idea that anybody. I was surprised we had 10 subscribers. I didn't think anybody would give a crap what I say, what we do, or find us entertaining, or find us funny. But I feel keeping true to ourselves, not putting on a character. What you see is not a character from any of us. That's really how we are. I am a pretty laid-back, easygoing guy. Do I get upset and stuff? Yeah, that's when you see me rant. I am legitimately pissed off at certain points. But I'm not going to hide it and go, I got to cover that up I don't want people to see. No, I don't care. You guys obviously like what you see. You're following us, and I want to thank you guys, especially making that 1,000. That is something I've wanted since the summer. We sat for months at like 250 subscribers and weren't getting any traction. Then I just started hitting YouTube up hard, and then we started to roll with that, and it started to go, started to go. We'd see weeks where we'd start gaining like 10, 15 subscribers, then we'd see a little drop off where we only get like 2 in a week, but it picked up, and now it picked up a lot, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. Thank you guys. I want it now. Now as soon as I get to that 1,000, I'm like, all right, now I gotta get to 2,000. So that's my goal now. Is now I gotta get to that next milestone. But thank you guys, the ones that are listening, that have been there and have supported us. We appreciate it so much. You don't understand. It's awesome because we're not doing this for money. I'll be honest with you guys right now. Our YouTube channel, we've been doing it since March. I think we have made $5. I think. Maybe $4 or $5. And we don't even, YouTube doesn't even send that money to YouTubers until I think you have to get to like $20. But that's not what we're doing it for. We're doing it because this is a hobby. We like it. We have the time to do it. I enjoy doing this stuff. I'm starting to let my creative side come out more. Like stuff that I used to do as a kid, stuff that I do as a teenager, like that creative force now is coming out because I have an outlet now. Didn't have an outlet back then. My problem is I said to Anthony, I said, I wish me and him got together years ago and started this, not just in 2015. But anyway, so yeah, also over the weekend, because of the blizzard, I debuted my little short film that I made called Zombie Uprising. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's a little 4-minute short. It's kind of like a spoof horror suspense thriller type of thing. I had fun doing it. The kids were great that are in it. They all listened. They all worked super well. They worked so well, every single one of them, that I'm actually trying to come up with an idea or a concept for a script that would involve more of the kids with more actual dialogue. They would actually have a script, like they'd have to memorize some lines. Not too much, because they range from, I have the 2-3-year-olds, and then it ranges from, I think, 6, 7, and 8, maybe 9. So not too much, but I want to try to expand some of them and see what we have there. They might all be, or there might be 1 or 2. There might be a couple diamond in the roughs there. You never know. And I want to start expanding that and see if there is something there. That'd be awesome. But I am trying to write a script. I'm trying to think of an idea to write for them. But I had good reaction to the short film, so I'm really appreciative to that. I really thank you guys for checking that out and supporting it, and let me know your honest opinions, hopefully. And yeah, so we did that. I had that up this week, and I figured, it was Saturday night around 6 p.m. I was like, you know what, let me go live, because most of the Northeast, or at least I thought most of the Northeast, but a big chunk of us were stuck blizzard in on a Saturday night. So what else are you going to be doing? Sitting around the computer or the TV or whatever, so you could check it out. So we did that. So yeah, that was the weekend. It was fun. It was probably one of the first times I've actually enjoyed the snow in a long time. Since I was a kid, probably. So that was good. So yeah, I got some crappy mail last week. I got to go to jury duty. I got a call in the beginning of February to see if I have to serve, but I'm all pissed off because, who likes jury duty? I can't stand it. I know it's our civil duty or whatever, but honestly, people that have to do jury duty should be retired people, senior citizens, maybe even people that are unemployed. They're unemployed. Maybe have them do it, so they make a little cash, they get a little money. They can let them keep their unemployment checks. Because, honestly, I don't want to do it. I have work. I have the kids. I have, regular life. I can't be sitting there doing jury duty. Last time I had to go was, I don't know, had to be over a decade ago. I had to go and sat in a room. They told me and a bunch of other people that we were going to be put on a case. It was like tax invasion or something like that. So, I'm like, oh, great. So I was working at my old job, which was a 9 to 5 gig, and I remember, they tell us, go to lunch, when you come back, we'll give you all the details and everything. Okay, so I go to lunch, come back about 1 o'clock, and they have us sitting waiting in this room, and they go, okay, wait here, we'll be right back. So we wait about maybe 30 minutes, about 1:30. They come out and they say, okay, so while you guys were on lunch, the two sides came to an agreement, so you're not going to be put on a case. The case is going to be dismissed. So I'm like, oh, that's great. So like, we'll sign off your paperwork. You'll be good for at least 7 years. This is technically like you served. I was like, great. So I remember I left, went home, didn't call my job. I wasn't going to tell them I was out. They would have been like, come in. I was like, nope. Went home, played video games. You got to remember, this was before kids. So went home. I was playing video games for a couple hours. It was great. But, now working from home and being my own boss and everything, I don't want to go. I just don't want to do it. But got to do it. I'm just hoping I go and something like that happens again where like I get off and I could just leave and I only have to spend a couple hours and I get like more years to postpone it and not have to do it again. But yeah, so that was, saw that come out of the mailbox. I was like, oh, crap. What are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do? So we had, since I missed the whole week of doing this, we had the Suicide Squad trailer premiered, the newer one. Set to the Queen's, what was it, Bohemian Rhapsody, right? I think it was Bohemian Rhapsody song. It was a really cool trailer. Rewind. Oh, just muffled up right there. It was a really cool trailer. I have pluses and minuses that I feel about it. So here are some of I'll give you my pluses first. Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie looks fantastic. Harley Quinn looks awesome. And not only is she just such a beautiful, attractive woman, if you don't know who she is, before this movie starts, go watch Wolf of Wall Street. That's all I'm going to say. Go watch Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio. But she looks like that's going to be a killer role. She looks like she nailed it. Killer Croc looks cool. Killer Croc is a character I always liked in the Batman series. I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to relate onto the big screen, so that's cool. And then there was some other little, the action looks cool. But then the minuses come, and the minuses are, one, I don't know, it seems like too much Will Smith. It seems like too much Will Smith. And I am a Will Smith fan, but I don't want this to turn into a Will Smith film, if that makes sense and if everyone understands what I'm saying. The scenes they show him talking, it just sounds like Will Smith. There's nothing different there. There's no depth. It seems like there's no depth, and I'm afraid that this is going to turn into a Will Smith movie. And I hope not. I hope not. Nothing against him, but this is supposed to be a movie based on a comic book, Suicide Squad. It should be revolved around everybody, and you should feel like when you're watching, like when I watched The Dark Knight, I didn't think Heath Ledger. I thought, holy shit, that's the Joker. When you watched, The Avengers, you were watching Ultron, even though he was computer animated, but you weren't thinking that's James Spader's voice. You were like, that's Ultron. At least this is how I feel. I don't want to be watching and go, that's Will Smith. We'll see. And the Joker. I don't know. I think if any actor could pull it off, it would be Jared Leto. He's a great actor. But I know they're going for a different take on the Joker, but I'm very worried. Let's just put it this way. I'm still going to see it. I think it'll do well in the movies, but I'm just hoping that it's perceived good, the ratings are good, the reviews are good, because, the better these movies do for us as geek nerd fans of this type of stuff, the better it is for us, because if Hollywood continues to make hits, they will continue to make these. If we start to get bomb after bomb after bomb, because now they're starting to really just suck, eventually Hollywood's going to give up and stop. And then we'll go on another decade or so where you don't get any comic book movies, and when you do, they're pure shit, until someone comes, just like it happened with Batman. When Batman ended after Batman and Robin, which was probably the worst dog shit movie in the world, until Christopher Nolan came and revitalized that Batman franchise. So I'm hoping Suicide Squad is good. I'm just very hesitant because of certain stuff, and I'm hoping they prove me and a lot of other critics out there wrong. Another thing, since we're talking about entertainment and stuff, I am a huge fan of Netflix. I am a subscriber to Netflix. I love their original stuff like Orange is the New Black, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and I cannot wait for Daredevil Season 2 to start. It's coming March 18th. I cannot wait. John Barenthal has been cast as the Punisher, which is now rumored to get his own spin-off. If you don't know who he is, that's Shane from The Walking Dead, the first and second season. Can't wait for that. I think that's great casting. I think Barenthal is going to be awesome as the Punisher. Cannot wait for Daredevil Season 2. It's such a great show. So dark, perfectly done. If you haven't watched it, you got to go check it out. Then also March 18th, they're coming out with Netflix's own movie. It's going to be Pee-wee's Big Holiday, I think it's called. And I can't wait. It's Pee-wee Herman. I was a huge Pee-wee Herman fan. I remember running Saturday mornings when Pee-wee Herman's Playhouse used to come on. I lived in an apartment complex back then. And I remember I used to run down the hall to my buddies. There were two brothers. My brother and I used to run to their place. And we used to watch that. We used to watch Pee-wee's Playhouse. The Monkees. The Monkees used to have their own show back in the 80s. And then we'd play Atari and Nintendo. And then go out if it was a nice day. And play for hours until the sun went down. Back in the day when your parents didn't care where you were. My mom, my mom and their parents would be in just their apartments doing whatever. We'd be out forever. The only time you go in is when it was lunchtime or you had to go to the bathroom. And we were boys, so the only time we had to go in to go to the bathroom was number 2. Otherwise, we'd go behind the building, behind the bush, and just pee. Oh, the good old days, man. Wow. Speaking of the good old days, the other one I can't wait for is Fuller House. Now, I know some people are like, oh my God, Fuller House. It's this, it's a spin-off kind of reboot, I guess, of Full House, which I loved. Was a huge fan of Full House. And Fuller House's debut on February 26th on Netflix. And I cannot wait because they're bringing everybody back but, the twins, besides Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, whatever. But everybody else is coming back, so that's cool. And, when I was a kid, I loved DJ Tanner, Candace Cameron. I absolutely loved her. I remember there were 4 girls that are, women now, that were on TV that I absolutely loved. One of them was DJ Tanner. The other one was Alyssa Milano from Who's the Boss. And I loved her in the Commando movie with Schwarzenegger. There was Kelly Kapowski. Actually, there were 5. Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. There was Kelly Bundy from Married with Children. And then there was Jenny Garth from 90210. Absolutely. Those were my 5. I just loved every single one of them when I was a kid. They were around, most of them were around my age. I think Kelly Bundy and Alyssa Milano and DJ Tanner were around my age, give or take. Jenny Garth was a little older. I think Kelly was just very, a few years older, not too much. And I think Kelly Bundy, too, was a little older. But I love them, all of them, and I can't wait. And it's funny because I actually got to meet one of them back in the day when I worked at this place. I worked in retail, this place when I was in high school and college. Well, college, actually, called Harrow's. It's where I met my wife back in the late 90s. But I worked at this place. It was like a seasonal store. In the summer they sold pools, above ground pools, saunas, outdoor furniture, stuff like that. And then in the winter they sold, it was all Christmas stuff, artificial trees, all the trim and everything you needed, ornaments, stuff like that. So I worked there, and and this had to be probably 98. I was the assistant office manager, whatever the hell that meant, but it really basically meant that I sat in an office and really did nothing except count a bunch of cash at the end of the night. But I'm in the office, and I remember my assistant manager at the time, who I'm still friendly with, his name is Mike. So I remember Mike comes into the office and goes, "Dave, I need you to go out there and open up a register real quick and just ring somebody up." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What's going on?" He's like, "It's someone famous." I went, "No, get out of here." He goes, No, seriously." I was like, "Who?" He goes, "You'll see. She's from a TV show." So I'm like, "Okay." So I go out. I start setting up my register and everything. And these 2 women walk up with him. He's helping them around the store and everything. And the one lady I look at, I don't really recognize her. Very pretty lady, but I didn't recognize who she. I'm like, I don't know who she is. Then I look at the other lady, who's the one really like I'm interacting with and talking to because she's paying for all the stuff, and it's this really really attractive blonde, and I'm looking at her and I'm like, she kind of looks like Jenny Garth from Beverly Hills 90210, but no, what the hell would she be doing in Limbrook, Long Island, at a Harrow's? Later on, I found out it was because she was in the city, because her sister lived in New York City, and they needed to get some Christmas stuff, and we were the closest Harrow's, coming on to Long Island. We were only on Long Island. I think maybe they had one in Jersey. I don't remember. But anyway, so I'm like, no, this isn't her. So I'm interacting, talking. I'm like, oh, did we able to find everything? Blah blah blah. She's like, yeah, absolutely. What a great store. Mike's great. Everybody here's so friendly. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm ringing her up. I still don't believe this is her. I'm like, this is an impersonator or someone that just looks like her. Then I give her the total. She hands me the credit card, and I look down, and I'm the visual it left my mind, but I remember I looked down, and I can't remember if it said Jennifer Garth or Jenny Garth. I look down, and I see that, and I look up, and as I look up, she's got this smile beaming on her face, like she just realized that I just realized who it was. I look up, and she's like, hi. And I said hi, like kind of like now all of a sudden my nerves kicked in, and I was super nervous, shaking, couldn't talk. I rang her up. I got super nervous because I realized I'm ringing up Jenny Garth, one of the 5 girls in the mid 80s to the mid 90s that I absolutely was in love with. And she was just as beautiful in person as she is on TV. Little shorter, shorter than she appears. But oh man, and I remember she left, and I go back in the office and I'm bullshit with Mike, and he's like, oh my god, we're just talking about like how great she looked and how nice she was, and then I just kicked myself in the ass, and I'm like, oh my god, I could have asked for an autograph. I mean, they didn't have cell phones back then to ask for like a picture. I had a beeper back in the mid 98. But oh man, that was funny. I wish I got to meet my other 4 that I really was into. That'd be awesome. But no, hey, at least I got to meet one of them. That was pretty cool. But anyway, let's get into, I know this one's running a little late. Maybe I'll make this I don't know if I should like a 2-parter, like end this one now and then just come back with the sports stuff. Maybe we'll do that, because we're almost running at a 30-minute mark. Let me wrap this one up, and then I'll do another one for the Royal Rumble. I want to give my opinions of the Royal Rumble, what I thought about it, the match updates, and all that stuff. And then I will also get into the conference championships for the NFL playoffs, getting ready for Super Bowl 50, which we had Carolina versus Arizona. We had New England versus Denver. I'll get into that. And we'll do that on maybe a part 2. So I'll wrap this one up. Thanks, guys, for listening. Remember, you can download us for free on SoundCloud. And remember to also head over to our Everyday Geek channel. Subscribe there. We have the rants on there as well. There you can leave me comments. I will definitely get back to you. Like, share it. Remember to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Everyday Geek TV. And again, guys, I thank you guys so much. I love and appreciate everything that you are doing for our channels and our podcasts and everything, supporting us. And I hope I am entertaining you guys. And that's it. All right. Catch you on another one, guys. Adios.